Dr. Drew Brannon here from AMPLOS, bringing this week's episode of the Growth Spurt to you. And I want to talk a little bit today about patience, specifically in this way. I was actually having a conversation with someone recently, and they were talking about the fact that kids these days have a hard time with delayed gratification. Although I certainly agree with that sentiment, one of the comments I made back to the person I was talking with was, what about adults? In my experience, I feel like the delayed gratification challenge is by no means unique to kids. And what I mean by that is I have found that people of all ages often fail to recognize just how much time and effort and energy it takes to accomplish significant things, right? And so regardless of your industry, regardless of where you find yourself in your career, there's a good chance that you have your sights set on something, you're aiming for something, you're pursuing, as we like to say at AMPLOS, worthy goals. Well, guess what? The more worthy those goals are, the more significant those goals are, the longer it tends to take to get there. I've just seen too many examples of people being a little bit impatient, a little bit naive, maybe lacking the resolve needed to materialize those things and bring those things to fruition. But I think one of the best things we as adults can do to help ourselves in our pursuit of goals these days is when we're thinking about the patience element, the delayed gratification element, to realize like that applies to us too. And as you think about like, well, what does that look like in my life right now? Some of the key questions I always like to take people through are, have you built the right plan? Have you created the right blueprint to truly give you a chance to accomplish whatever those goals are? Maybe you have. I think that in order to really answer that question well, oftentimes what we need to do is run that by someone. Would anyone co-sign and agree with your feel or your belief that you have the right plan? The next thing you always want to think about is to what degree am I actually following the plan? We see this in goal setting all the time, where at the beginning of a year, people maybe do a great job of sitting down and taking a step back and reflecting and put together a set of goals or objectives, whatever that might be. And then they file those things away into the drawer of a desk or whatever it might be. And they don't really ever look at them again. They don't track them. They don't adjust. So as you think about, have I truly built the right plan? How closely am I following this? What accountability mechanisms do I have in place when I'm not following this? And then how am I adjusting or adapting as I continue to kind of go down this path and pursue the goals that I'm after? One thing that no one's ever getting away from, though, is this need to be patient. Right? The need to hang in there, to have grit, to have resilience. Now, when I think about some of the big goal accomplishment examples that I've been a part of, I certainly think about my work with Georgia football over the years. And, Kirby Smart, one of the best leaders I know, a dear friend, didn't win a title in year one, didn't win it in year two, didn't win it in year three. It took time, it took patience, it took endurance. It took losses, pain, all of the above, right? And so I think that the more we can realize that we also need to be patient, this is not a problem unique to kids. I think the greater the likelihood that we will commit to the process that we need to run in order to give ourselves the best possible chance to achieve those things that we've said we want to achieve. So give yourself a little bit of an assessment, be honest with yourself, ask for some feedback, and try to get a good feel and pulse on how well are you delaying gratification? How well are you exercising and implementing the needed patience to give yourself a chance to pursue your worthy goals, whatever they might be?